Put the fucking mic on.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go. I want you to go in with your wisdom.
You know how you made the statement of love is evil and love is not what they make it out to be?
So switching to that statement, we're going to switch our perspective of the self to say that the love that people are talking about, the feeling, like love is only this feeling, and it's like they're trying to pinpoint love, and that's what they got us stuck to. Like, oh, love is this, love is that, love is this. But it's not that it's furthest from the truth. It's just not clear enough. That's what makes it evil, because it's illusory. And so you get all these things, oh Cupid, you got Valentine's Day, you got all these other things. If you're not getting that, you ain't getting love. And it's like, well, I guess now it looks a certain way, you know?
Yes.
That's stamped as love. And that's evil backwards, because if you stamp your consciousness on that without taking it a little deeper, anything outside of that is not love. So that's why I don't get caught up on projections. And I say that multidimensionally, meaning the sun is a projection of energy into the infinite womb of nothingness. And so before there was the sun, there was something. And that something, you can call that love, or you call that God, or call that whatever, right? And that is why love is beyond an action. That is why love is beyond the physical dimension. But in the physical dimension, you are here to experience different forms of love.
Yes.
So to that degree, then love is what you make it. And
okay.
We must understand this, because this gets deeper. To that degree, love is whatever you perceive it to be, whatever you want it to be. And because of that, everyone has their, well, love is this to me, love is this to me. Well, when you do this to me, this makes me feel love. When you do this to me, this makes you feel love. Well, if love is so many fucking different things, then it makes it seem like it's actually nothing. Because then it's like, but it is something. It's what people perceive it to be. So this is why I say communication is needed. Because in a world where love is something different for every single person, before we even start to connect, we need to have clarity, clear communication. Because love may be this to you and love may not be that same to me. So are we just looking for ourselves? Well, let's go deeper. Why do you think that is love? You know?
Sure.
And then we're going to break it all the way back down to what? Nothingness.
For sure.
But there's somethingness. So I'll let you go from there.
This is the thing, though. If you're speaking from what we know love to be, like you and I at the frequency of love being the core of all things, right? But then knowing that we live in this experience in these limited human bodies, right? So do you personally choose to live from that, or do you choose to live from the all when it comes to love?
Well, I choose to live from the ultimate truth all the time.
Okay, and that love is boundless. That love is infinite. That love comes in all forms, right?
Right.
So if you are in an intimate relationship, then that love has no boundaries. It's a boundless love, because if you are moving in God, then there's a divine order. And that's all the clarity that needs to be said, because you guys are moving in the higher power, which you can't really control with your quote unquote limited clarity, right?
I will have to ask you then, why do you say that?
Because you're coming from the perspective of the truth. And the truth is that the possibilities of feeling into love are infinite, and there are no limits to love. So there is no clarity that needs to be made between an individual and individual when both of them have that understanding and both of them agree to live from the quote unquote truth with a capital T, because that is from the divine order, and we could never make any type of clarity from that. We can try to as much as we want from our limited
continue.
From our limited beings and our experiences, right? Because we are light slowed down on earth to experience everything on the physical plane. And so to experience love from where we are is the light learning love from a limited space or a limited place.
And that's where we come from now, where I was mentioning earlier, like we're coming from a place where we have to unprogram and unlearn and relearn.
If we choose to, right?
Yeah, if we choose to.
Yes, because you can become conscious and then just still also there's people that choose to live in the programs. Like I know people personally that like have the same awakening as I have, same shit, they know the same things, but they are terrified of doing the work. So they choose to just like go back to the programs, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that is why coming from this place as humanity, if you're thinking about efficiency and clarity and ability and capability, why wouldn't you communicate when you can? What is it you're holding back from? Because it's like let's say, we meet each other. Well, we understand that both of us are on this path, but one thing that me and you know both is that you coming from different programs and I'm coming from different programs. So getting to know each other is what? Getting to know those programs and how we navigate through that. So that means I'm eventually going to realize what you consider to be love. For example, when I don't hit you back in certain things, you didn't come into this concept, or like depending on whatever the situation is, you feel like, oh, he must not love a certain way that I do. Or a certain depth, or however you feel it. I don't want to put words into your mouth. And see, that's why I say like and this is for me and anyone, when they get attached to a happening as love, they miss the bigger picture because they're looking right there in this pinpoint in space. But this pinpoint in space is not necessarily not love.
Yes.
It's just you're so attached to it that when it's not there, now it feels like there's a lack of love.
For
but
sure.
in truth, the love was always there, with or without that action.